Smackdown, November 3rd, 2023, the go-home show to Crown Jewel. This will be a condensed review. We put up a couple of uploads earlier today, and we're going live for the entire Crown Jewel event, live on the channel tomorrow. So stop by, even if only for a moment. Say what's up to BC, say what's up to the Amplified unit in the chat. We'd love to have you. If you got the time, spend the entire event with us. But we will be live tomorrow for Crown Jewel. And again, a couple of uploads earlier. So we are wedging this review in between a lot of other content. But there's no way that we were going to miss an opportunity to talk about this show. So let's just get right into it. Smackdown. Now, these were spoilers all week. This was actually taped last week after the live Smackdown because everybody was traveling to Saudi Arabia throughout the week. So, these spoilers have been out there. We have yet to discuss them on this channel, though. So, let's do that now. The show starts with Roman Reigns and LA Knight face to face. Now, I love this because Roman Reigns walks into the ring. LA Knight is giving him that side eye. Roman Reigns redefines the side eye because Roman walks by him a couple of steps. Turns to his left a little bit, just his head, and he starts talking trash, but to nobody, because LA Knight is a couple of steps behind him. So to the left, but a couple steps back. So Roman is staring at the hard cam, but his head is tilted to the left. He's talking a lot of trash, but to nobody. So it's hilarious, right? It's like he won't even acknowledge LA Knight. He's just talking trash, and he wants LA Knight to know that it's about him. So LA Knight takes a couple of steps forward, and he looks at Roman like, "Are you talking to me?" And Roman's like, "Yeah, you know I'm talking to you." It was great, man. Roman is great. Immaculate as a heel. It's a shame he doesn't show up to work more often. And I'm not player hating. Listen, he got a fat deal. A lot of money, a lot less dates. We'd all love to have a contract like that. So we're not player hating. But man, it would be helpful if he was around a little bit more often. And for the first several years that I've had this channel, man, did we rant and rave and beg and plead this company to turn him heel. You know, and there was a lot of people that came across the channel. "Oh, stop, BC. He's never going to turn heel. He's basically like Cena. He's always going to be the tweener. Stop complaining. Just stop. He's never going to turn." And I refused because I knew this would be best for business. This would be best for Roman if he turns heel. Because then he's going to truly see how good he really is. And just those little things, talking trash to really nobody, but it's intended for LA Knight a few steps away. Just little things like that are not so little. So Roman Reigns, man, he needed to turn heel years ago. And I'm so glad. It took a while, but they finally realized this needs to be done. This is the best Roman Reigns. Heel Roman. If he shows up to work a little bit more, man, this dude is special. So anyway, Roman, LA Knight, they start. The line of the night is given to, the W goes to Roman Reigns. Well, John Cena had some really good ones with Solo. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes. But Roman shares it. Roman looks at LA Knight and says, "What have you been doing the past few months? While I'm the face of the place, while I'm running this whole ship, what have you been doing the last few months other than running around here cosplaying like a redneck version of my cousin?" He said, "What have you been doing? Except for running around cosplaying as a redneck version of my cousin." Of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Bro, that popped BC. Couldn't believe that. Poor LA Knight. Everybody rips him for being a bootleg version of Stone Cold, a dollar store version of The Rock. And when it comes down to it, yeah, there's pieces, no question. But he is an original LA Knight as well. I don't think he gets enough credit for the originality that he brings as well. But Roman, man, totally just ran him over with the verbal bus, put that bus into reverse, rolled back over him, and then put it back in drive. Verbally destroyed him with that one line. LA Knight had a very good rebuttal, very amplified, and a good message. but you were not going to overcome that line. Roman Reigns gets the W verbally, and we'll see what happens tomorrow at Crown Jewel, because I believe he's getting a massive W over LA Knight. It's unfortunate, but they rushed this match. There's no way LA Knight can walk out of Saudi Arabia with the championship. Roman's been champion for 3 years. Montreal, Sami Zayn couldn't win it in his hometown at the peak of his momentum, the peak, the height of his popularity. And Sami Zayn's looking up at the lights. WrestleMania 39, when we knew Roman had to drop the title. Instead, Cody is not walking out with a title. He's laying down next to a rubber chicken. And LA Knight on a Saturday afternoon at a B-leveled pay-per-view premium live event. He's the one to take the title. Doesn't make sense. I wouldn't even book that. So now they booked themselves into a corner. LA Knight has to not win this title, so he's got to lose. Or do you think of a schmaz way to have him win, but just not the title? Obviously, he's losing this, and it's just about now, can you make him look strong in defeat? Most of the individuals that have been beaten by Roman Reigns, when it's all said and done, they basically were fed to Roman. And we say that because the company never had anything afterwards. It was lose to Roman, and we'll come get you at catering another time when we have something. And they never come back to catering. We hope it's different. It's a big decision tomorrow, not just the finish, but how they go about it. But this started the show, and this was a pretty good face-to-face. First matchup of the night, Owens. Kevin Owens defeating Austin Theory. Pop-up powerbomb, KO stunner combo. Very nice pop-up powerbomb. Probably could have defeated Theory with that one move, but he gave him the stunner just for added measure. A little bit of salt on the wound. Throughout the matchup, Grayson Waller was on commentary, and you kind of see that that's next, right? Kevin Owens, Austin Theory was the stepping stone, and now Owens will be going after Waller. And that won't be the end of it. You'll get Waller and Theory versus KO and a tag team partner. You kind of see where this is going. I can't say that's too enthralling for BC. When Owens went over to SmackDown, I was hoping for a little bit more substance. Waller and Theory, not exactly. As far as Theory losing this match, I mean, at what point do we all just come to the conclusion it's just not working, right? I've been saying this for weeks, months, and maybe even years by now. It's not working. And that's not shade to the kid. I like the dude, to be honest. It's just not clicking. It's not working. He's not entertaining. It's not fun when he's out there cutting promos or in matches. And dare I say, I actually like the Vince McMahon version better when he was carrying a cell phone. That pompous little punk you just want to smack upside the dome piece. He's got the little cell phone. He's taking his little Insta pictures as he's wrestling or after the match. I actually like the Vince McMahon version better than the Paul Levesque version, because the Paul Levesque version is even more of a jobber. The way to put an exclamation point on this conversation about Austin Theory is it's going to take more than just a repackaging, right? Because Austin Theory truly needs to buy into the concept of whatever he is going to become. Because if Austin Theory doesn't buy into it, if Austin Theory doesn't believe in what he is or is supposed to be, then it's never going to work. The only way you can truly get over as a pro wrestler is if you have that it factor. Some wrestlers have 100% of it. Some wrestlers have about 10, 20, 30%, but it's that little bit of the it factor mixed with a really good character, and you can make it work. Right now, I'm seeing nothing from Austin Theory. This dude comes through the curtain, and it's instant bathroom break. It's instant sandwich time. It's instant go outside and pick up a bad hobby, right? Pick up smoking or go play in traffic. Who knows? But anything is more fun than watching an Austin Theory match. It's sad to say, I know, but it's not working. It looks like the company knows that. He's losing more and more, and I'm talking singles matches. It's not working, man. So we'll see what they come up with. Up next, actually backstage, B-Fab wants to talk with Bobby Lashley. B-Fab wants to get in on the street business, it looks like. And there's nowhere else to turn, really. When Top Dollar, when they lost Uncle Phil, at that point, you pretty much knew that Hit Row is done. It's gone. It's Das Boot. And all we were waiting for is word on if B-Fab was going to be given Das Boot from the company. They kept her. What do? Well, WWE, it's simplistic. What if we just throw her into the street business? Right? We'll just keep adding to that faction. See, LWO has their girl, Zelina. Judgment Day has their girl, Rhea Ripley. And now street business has their girl, B-Fab. So it's, this is what the company does. It's the problem is if you don't have anything fun planned for these factions, it gets really old really quick, and it actually creates boring television because you just see these factions having these weird one-on-one matches, then the 2-on-2s, then the 3-on-3s, the 6-man tags, then the ladies will get involved, but there's no real storyline developing. Right? Every week, it's just different members of the factions fighting whoever they're in this supposed feud with. I hope that makes sense. That's not a real storyline. That's just facing each other every week. Case in point, Sami Zayn, Judgment Day. Every single week, they fight each other, right? Every week for months, Sami Zayn, Judgment Day. Cody is becoming that person for Judgment Day as well. Owens was for months. Jey Uso's becoming that. You just switch off the puzzle pieces. So with all these factions, unfortunately, it allows the company not to have to work too hard, not to care as much, not to be creative. So no, I'm not a fan necessarily of just growing factions just for the case of growing factions, or somebody might fit good here. Not if there's nothing for them. You're just weighing down, you're anchoring down the ship even more. So we'll see. It's interesting at first, right? B-Fab talking to Bobby, and you kind of go, maybe? But then you think about the company's reputation and what they've done, and history is deemed to repeat itself if they don't change anything. This company isn't really known for changing anything. We'll see. Charlie and Shotzi defeat Tag Team Champions Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Think about that, please. Your tag team champions continue to lose. Monday Night Raw, Chelsea Green is winning a trick or street fight match, right? She pulls off a W in the most asinine of matches. This is a few days after she just lost to Shotzi last week on SmackDown, so they're 50-50 booking her. In fact, it's even worse. I think her winning... She's like 20% on wins, 80% losses, and she's a tag champion. So she gets 50-50 booked this last week, and then she goes into a tag match with her tag team champion co-holder, Piper Niven. And of course, because Charlie Flair is in this match, there's no way they were winning this. Sure enough, big boot from Charlie, and Chelsea eats the L looking up at the lights. Why Charlie Flair is running through the tag team champions too? She's always in the individual title scene. Why does she also have to go through the tag teams? The one set of champions you have, why does Charlie have to make them look like chumps? It's not needed. This match was not needed. And at some point, you're just going to have to take these titles off of Piper and Chelsea, because this is becoming a joke. And I like Chelsea. Chelsea has a damn good spot in this company. She just gets it. She gets it, this pro wrestling thing. I don't care if she's got all the talent in the world, skill-wise. I don't care if she could do Canadian destroyers or moonsaults or suicide dives. Chelsea Green gets it. But this constant losing, it catches up to you, and subconsciously you're just looked at as a loser. Not even an entertaining loser, just a loser, and you don't want that. Careful, you have tag team titles, you have gold. Treat it as such. I'm talking to LeVec McMahon and anybody who's creating this horseshit. Moving on to hour number 2, Jonathan Cena and Solo Sikoa face-to-face. This was good. Solo says, and I quote, "I'm pissed off I gotta wait till tomorrow to fight you, but I have orders from my tribal chief to give this microphone to you so you can say goodbye to them." John Cena gets on the mic and says, "That's honestly all you have. After all this time, we've been waiting for you to speak, to say something, and that's what you got?" He says, "This is only gonna take 90 seconds to light you up." And if you've ever watched John Cena light people up on the mic, damn, there's nobody better. He can literally ruin your career. To this day, Roman Reigns is still reeling from the time that John Cena wrecked him on the microphone. It's called a promo. You're going to have to learn how to do it, kid, if you're going to be the real big dog. Remember that? Live on air on Monday Night Raw? Absolutely flatlined Roman Reigns. To this day, Roman probably still thinks about that. First thing in the morning, damn, John Cena wrecked that shit. Austin Theory before WrestleMania. Theory never stood a chance. John Cena slayed that young man verbally. Badass. And so many other occasions. So here you go, and you're thinking, oh boy, Solo, at this point, just run, dude. Save yourself the embarrassment. John Cena says, I only need 90 seconds to light you up. And that's all he took, maybe even less. Cena says, and I quote, the only reason you even got a job here is because of your cousin. He says, you walk around here like a badass, but he says, you're nothing but a bargain basement Taz. You walk around here like you're a badass, but you're nothing more than a bargained basement Taz. I can't even get it straight. I can't even believe they bring up AEW's Taz. But now that he said it, I guess there is a correlation, man. Now I can't look at Solo and not think Taz. Oh, John Cena did it again. Looks at his watch or whatever it is. I think it was his wristband, acting like a watch. He's like, yep, that took about 90 seconds. Boom, mic drop, he took off. Now we see tomorrow. Will it be Solo Sikoa or will it be Jonathan Cena? This is the one match that Vegas is deadlocked on. Nobody knows. It's literally 50-50, which tells you that I bet you, behind the scenes, man, this company doesn't know what they want to do. Does Cena put over another person? Do you know how many people Cena's been putting over? Does he put over another person, man? At some point, he's going to have to stop that because John Cena's going to have several more matches, guys. He's going to continue to be part-time, go back to Hollywood, come back here and there for a couple more years. But when he comes back, you don't want to just think, oh, here he goes, he's going to drop more matches. I don't think it's that time yet. You know, putting over Theory at WrestleMania, that was a big decision that John Cena went along with, hoping that this company gets it right and that this kid really does have the it factor. And here we are, all these months later, I can speak, all of these months later, and Theory still doesn't connect. Theory's losing now more than ever. It just didn't work. So Cena wasted a WrestleMania loss, and it never paid off. It sucks. And you can't keep going down the line. You can't just lose down to a Grayson Waller on a Smackdown, a Solo Sikoa on a Crown Jewel. At some point, you got to act like John Cena, right? Like you can win matches. So if Solo wins, I won't be upset, of course. That's a big W, and he did yet another job. But if Cena wins this, I'm definitely not going to rag on this. Cena does not need to show up and just put everybody over. Enough with that. This is going to be a big matchup, finish-wise, to see where they go with it. John Cena and Solo face-to-face. Probably the highlight of the night for sure. Then you went into what do you call this? The Donnie Brook match. Pretty Deadly defeating the Brawling Brutes. Now, that's never good when it's your match and you're losing. But the bigger issue here is these tag teams and their gimmicks, right? The Vikings. How many times have we seen Viking rules over the last couple months? Couple times up front. Maybe both were against the New Day. But you see these Viking rules. Then you see the Donnybrook. I know we've had a couple of those over the last few months. If you do it too many times, you're just running the idea straight into the brick wall. Relax on that. Once in a while, maybe at a pay-per-view, you can do up a special Donnybrook match and captivate people's attentions, right? But if you do it all the time, these gimmicks actually start to be a detriment. And people start going, oh, here we go, man. This is like a bathroom break. And gimmick matches shouldn't be. Gimmick matches were gimmick matches to begin with because they were supposed to captivate your interest. They were supposed to bring you to the television. You know, this is something you don't see often. So anyway, that's my little gripe there. Aside from that, Pretty Deadly is pretty damn special. You know, if you're building a tag team division, because it's still non-existent even with all the teams they have. But if you're truly going to try to make something out of this division, make it a legit division, Pretty Deadly is a team you'd probably want them in this division. If you're building a tag division, Pretty Deadly would probably be top prospects. They just get it. Through the talking smack the way they do, the trickery, the camaraderie, their skill set in the ring, they look like a tag team, which is not always the case. Most of the time in this division, you have two wrestlers thrown together because they just don't have anything for them. Hell, the tag team they were taking on, Ridge Holland and P.D. Dunne, Butch, just thrown together with Sheamus. You're the Brawling Brutes. No, this is a real tag team. And that's always refreshing. And if they can entertain you in the process and they can go in the ring, bro, I mean, you're basically checking off every box at that point. And this is at the same time that I feel the Street Profits are hitting their stride. Last week, the Street Profits really impressed me. So dare I say, could we have a little tag team division brewing if enough dedication is put into it? Possibly. The main event was Bianca Belair defeating Bayley. And then afterwards, Bayley was dismantled through the commentary table. Shenanigans with Damage Control, of course. Earlier, Damage Control jumped Bianca while Bianca was doing an backstage interview. So the tensions were high. You go into the main event, and Bayley is just put in there to take an L, look up at the lights. Man, Bayley is... We got to be careful. You know, Bayley has become just the stepping stone jobber, right, in this group. Every group has the stepping stone jobber, right, for so long. It still is. Jimmy Uso in the Bloodline. For a long time, they kind of traded off the roles, Damian and Dominic, even when holding a briefcase or an NXT North American title. They're the stepping stones. And then for Damage Control, somehow, I mean, Dakota got injured. EO, they finally decided to give some rocket to, even if it's a piece of the rocket. And Bayley's all you got, but she's the founder, man, and she's so good. I don't know. Bayley loses a lot, man. Bayley has just been deemed stepping stone jobber to many of us. That's rough, but they really want to bump up Belair taking this title tomorrow from EO. Hopefully that's not the case, by the way. Much love to Bianca Belair, but no way, shape, or form should EO be leaving Saudi Arabia without that title. That is something that has to happen. EO continuing a prestigious title reign because she's in the middle of a prestigious title reign. So hopefully that happens. There was a weigh-in as well with Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio, I believe, which I did miss. I had to do some side business for about... I thought it was no more than about 6 or 7 minutes, but that must have been the entire segment. So I don't know if that was in the ring or if that was something that was a pre-tape. But it was only about 5 or 6 minutes because that's all this side business took, but it was over. So I haven't even, I don't have the time to really go back into that right now, but that was something that happened we were not able to review. Other than that, we pretty much went over the show, guys. I tried to get this done within a half an hour. Hopefully I succeeded. So that's it. There was a couple of uploads earlier today. Make sure you catch them if you want. A lot of good content, a lot of good discussion. And tomorrow, live Crown Jewel, the good, the bad, and the ugly review. Can't wait to hang out with you guys tomorrow. Rock out Crown Jewel together. Until then, rock out your night, whether you're going to bed, catch those Z's, or maybe you're going to party a little bit. Either way, let's reconvene tomorrow for Crown Jewel and let's rock it out. Till then, BC saying check you. Peace.